Hey guys, Nicole here, and I am here with my layout share for my Kit Love series for the Hip Kit Club, which was the January kit, I believe, that I played with and pretty much got it killed. So I'm going to show you really quickly first what I have left, and then I will show you the layouts that I made. So I decided to work on an Allie Edwards class with this kit, and excuse me. I went with, I think this is from maybe December. I have, excuse me, the membership where I get the stamp with the class content, but I don't get the product. So I don't have the full kit. But I do get the stamp and then the class content. And so I decided to do, I think about half of my layouts were inspired from her class. And that was back from, I think, December. So, because it's a monthly stamp kit and a monthly class. And so I had a lot of fun working with this. I also pulled in an older stamp set of hers that was focused on books and reading because I did a layout about that. And so I did pull in a couple other stamp sets as well, but this was the main one that I used for inspiration for these layouts. I used all the silver Insta frames, but didn't use the gold or the bronze. I just didn't work with any of my layouts. Oh, there's one more gold one there. I used a couple of the clips, but still have a few left. But I love them. They're super cute, so I'll just put those in with my clip stash. This is all I have left from the loose pieces from the ephemera pack. There were two ephemera packs. The one that was from Hip Kit Club, and then the one that was from, I think, Pink Paisley. And so I really used almost all of them. This is all I have left. So what I'll probably do, sort out the ones that were from the Hip Kit ones, and then the rest I think I'll probably put, because I'll put with the collection, that Pink Paisley collection, because I have that bagged up somewhere, and then that way I'll have doubles of a couple pieces, but at least it'll kind of be with the collection it belongs to, and then I can split it up from there. So that's all I have left there. One more little butterfly. There's one more there, just because I had adhesive on and I didn't want it to ruin anything else. But this is all I have left of the puffy stickers. And again, these will go with, put with the collection as well. And let's cut this down a little bit so it takes less room. That I'll just stick, I think I'll be all right. I think I'll put it on the back of another one, and then, okay. Used a few of these, but still have a lot left. I don't have the best of luck with cork. I don't know why. But they're super cute. And again, I have this collection, so I'll just put it in with that kit from here with the other die cuts and things. So I think that's, oh wait, is that two? Yeah, that's from the same collection, I think. The same Pink Paisley. Then this is from Hip Kit, and I just used two of them, but they're very cute stamps. I actually might put these because they're nice and flat. I think they're vellum technically. I think I might actually, I see myself using this maybe in Bible journaling format more than scrapbooking. And so I think I'll probably split this with my Bible journaling stuff. And these were also from the Hip Kit brand, and they're just some washi strips, and I used some of them but have a few left. So I'll put those in with my washi rolls. And then I used a few of the rub-ons from the Hazelwood, the One Canoe 2 Hazelwood collection. And I think that was also the same collection that the clips were from. And these are super cute. I don't have this collection, so I'll just stick these in with my embellishments and use them up because they're super beautiful. I really liked them. I'm not a huge rub-on person, but they're just really beautiful, especially when they're on paper. So I really liked those. I got some of those used. And then this is it for paper. Just scraps left there. And then the alphas, I just used some of the white. I didn't use any of the gold. So those will just go into my stash. Okay. Now for the layouts. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start off with, this isn't, I've seen this done before. And Allie did happen to do this with this class. Mine turned out quite a bit different from hers. I definitely embellish more than she does, than just what her style is a little bit different. It was super fun. I love doing Allie Edwards classes because it's a different starting point for me, and I love to search for photos for a particular reason, to make connections, to tell certain stories, versus my typical process, which is just grabbing the photos that I have on hand and scrapbooking from there. They're both very valuable starting points, but I've been kind of in a lull lately with my photos because I don't take a lot of pictures, and I need to take more. I just haven't been taking very many, and so I'm kind of getting kind of tired of my pictures, and I'm a little overwhelmed to start my Disney trip yet. So it was really nice to have a different starting point, because then it makes you search for certain photos for certain reasons, and they're photos that maybe I've already scrapped before in a different context, but I combine them with other photos that had a connection. And so I love having that mix of starting points. So this is really fun, and I think this actually has inspired me to start something that I think I'm going, because I don't really do Project Life. Both times I've started it, I've gotten till like June and then gave up on it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have an album where each year I do one layout like this that is my like favorite photograph of the year. So I often will have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 photographs that I am really impressed that I actually took. You know, you look at them and you're like, oh, kind of takes your breath away. This I didn't take. This was actually one of the Disney photographers that took this. I have a similar picture, but it was from a different vantage point. He had a better close-up. But this was like my all-time, like I saw this and it took my breath away, and it's definitely cropped in, which I love that too. But like, if you look at the whole like, it's just it was just an amazing moment, and really summed up our Disney trip. And so what I think I'm going to do is do one layout like this of my favorite photo from that year, and then like a summary layout, which I will show you here shortly, that I did for last year. That was also Allie Edwards inspired. I definitely did it differently than she did, but I think that it might be fun to have an album that has one of these combined with a look back at that year, like highlighted photos from that year. And that might be one fun album to have, like it'd be a great coffee table book. Like, so it's not like a bunch of multiple individual stories. It's favorite photo of the year, review layout of the year, and then I just keep adding to it each year. So that's something I can work backwards. I actually already did 2015. This is 2016. I can keep going back and like just going through my photos. Oh, that's my favorite photo, or my favorite memory. It doesn't have to be my favorite photo, just my favorite memory. I can definitely work backwards on that and do year in review pages from the last 5, 6, 7 years. And then just keep adding to it each year. And that might be kind of a nice alternate way to get my year's summary in one sitting. So anyway, if that makes any sense. So I love this concept. I actually found that I had this like matte presentation photo paper and tried it out, and it's different, but I love how it printed, and I used just a bunch of the embellishments. One thing I found with working with Allie Edwards classes is that I wasn't going through hardly any of my pattern paper, because she just doesn't use that much. She really works a lot with white and a few embellishments here and there, and then stamps and words. And so I definitely found, after working through a class, I'm like, okay, I need to start using some paper here. But I obviously didn't have any trouble using it. I got it all, every page cut into. But this was just a super fun way. And this would be a fun project to do if you wanted to, if you had just a bunch of embellishments you wanted to get used up, like lots of leftover pieces and leftover die cut packs and things. Like, this would be a really fun way, because you're not using any paper. I mean, you can if you want to, but anyway, I just love how this turned out. And so I just embellished down here and then did a little bit over here, which is how she structured hers as well. Hers was just a lot more simple than mine was. But I kept layering, and I just love the mix of the colors with her dress and her hair. It just turned out pretty. And then I stamped here with the stamp set that I was that I was using in the class that I was following that went along with that stamp set. And then the little bit up here. So I just love how that's super fun. I actually did an album similar to this, and I might, after I'm done showing the layouts, I might press pause and show you that, because it's a very similar concept, except it was focused on, I think, pictures of me and my now husband, like our dating years and early marriage years. I did like a whole album of just me and him. I might go grab that here shortly and show you, because it's kind of a similar concept. I just took a whole bunch of large photos and compiled them into one album, and I think this would be a really fun album to have by itself. Okay, anyway, I'll quit blabbing. So then I went on and did another one from 2015, as I automatically knew which photo was my favorite from 2015. It's a little bit pixelated. I unfortunately lost my original photos of this day, or this week. I think when I had a computer crash, and I think I might be able to find it. Again, I just had to do some searching, but I just took it off Facebook and printed it. It's a little pixelated, but if I do find a better version of it, and maybe because it was taken with my cell phone at the time, so maybe it's just gonna be pixelated no matter what. If someday if I do find the original photo that I initially took of it, and then can print it better, then I could just take up this whole section and then, you know, pop it back down and then just rejournal. So not a big deal. So I went ahead and did this just in case I don't ever get to that. At least I have it. It's like my favorite photo. It was when we opened our shop in 2015. After we combined forces and completely redid everything. And it's not even a picture of me, it's a picture of one of my business partners. But I taken it, and I just caught, the colors were perfect. Just the way she was sitting there looking. It just was a good picture, because, you know, she taught me how to make the coffees and stuff. And so, but it was just that was obviously a huge part of my year. And it was my favorite picture from that whole, like, first weekend that we were open, and loved it. I loved that one of the wood veneers in the kit said "Follow your dreams," and because having, you know, my own business has always been something I've wanted to do, and I've done that for a while now, but this is on a larger scale. So I think I'm loving this. I think I'm gonna go back and just go back and do this for the last few years, and then do it each year. And just have a really fun album of these. And then I'll show you here shortly the layouts focused on a year in review. Okay, so this is also another one from that same class, and it was about taking a consistent theme of your story from month to month or just throughout the year. And she did like circles. Like, again, I don't want to give away her class content. So mine are very different from hers, and this is only 1 month's worth. You know, I've been conversing with people about this issue. I don't want to give away class content, but my take on hers are quite a bit different than, because my style is more embellishment and more pattern and different things. So anyway, but the concept, I just want to give her the credit, because she's just a great storyteller, and she's just a great motivator to tell your stories. And so this one was about finding a common thread and doing a layout about that thread. So one of the things I came up with was, I thought about one thing. I thought about my youngest daughter always has the funniest smiles. Like, she just has the most hilarious, like, cheese face, and she's older, so she's not doing it on purpose. It's just, she just has a very expressive face, and she likes to make goofy faces. But I've already done a layout about that. So I thought, what else could I do? I thought about the pictures of our cats throughout the year. We have kittens and mamas and grandmas. And I'm like, no, I've done lots of cat layouts lately. So I just decided this would be fun, because it isn't very often, and I've been meaning to document the actual books that I've read for book club. And I've done some layouts about hosting book club or about our book club. I know I've scrapbooked a newspaper article that was out about our book club, but I very rarely actually document the books that we read for it. And so this was documenting the books that we read in 2016. And so I love it. Like, again, this could be something I could consistently do every year at the end of each year. And I know one of our book club members has tracked every book that we've read. And so I might go back and do one for 2015, 2014 since we started, and just do this exact same structure, or maybe do something different. I don't know. I just really like how it looks, and I like that I can look at it and say, oh, these are all the fun books we read, and you can remember the stories. And anyway, love it. I just downloaded these from online and used a punch to punch them out. And obviously you don't get the whole cover, but I made sure that the title was there, and because I didn't want to crop them down too much, because I didn't want to, I wanted it to, the full circle to encompass the part of the book cover. But you can definitely see the book and the title. And then I journaled around the edges, and then I did some stamping with her stamp set. I did light stamping, so it wasn't the first go. I stamped it on something else and then did the second stamp, just so it wasn't so dark, and just kind of did some around the edges. That's where I brought in the book theme stamp, because I'm like, well, if I'm scrapbooking about books I've read, I should probably pull out one of my book theme stamp sets and use those. So I went ahead and stayed with the Ellie Edwards, just because of the similar look. So there's that one. Again, that wood veneer was perfect. And then I stamped this and just cut it out there. Okay. And then this is a year in review that I could see myself then adding in and doing with the large 12 by 12 photos. So then that album will encompass my favorite photo of the year, and then a bunch of photos representing the year. I think that would be a really fun album to do. And this is actually a 2-pager with an insert in the middle. And this was actually, I think it was Jen Chapin had been a guest teacher. And I'm thinking this is more closely to her design than Allie's. For sure. Allie's was completely different. And mine is actually, I think hers was like a 12 by 12 and a 6 by 12. But I just took the concept of I printed off as many photos as I wanted to, and then just made it work. So I ended up doing 2 12 by 12, and there are 3 by 3 pictures, and I just overlapped them and matted all of them. And so hopefully you can see. And so I just took a picture, mostly one from each month, but there's obviously more than 12 photos here. So I went more by highlights versus month by month. I mean, they're in order, but I kind of just went through my photos and, oh yeah, birthdays are big, first day of school, last day of school, Keaton's first dance, my birthday party, Phantom of the Opera. I just kind of said, these are pretty big things that are going to, this will encompass kind of majority of kind of the fun things that we did throughout the year. I'm trying to think of what. Keaton doing cross country, Mallory playing basketball, Keaton doing her band, Disney World, Keaton getting braces. So just kind of those bigger events and things that happen in our lives throughout the year. So I just used some wood veneer. Remember this, and I think I used up all the wood veneers that came with this kit. I have 3 of the hearts there. Then I used some of the Hip Kit Club die cuts, enamel dots and shapes I pulled from my stash. And in case you're wondering, I got my first firearm this year. I know that's very exciting. We live out in the country, and I am a big believer in self-defense, and my husband travels a lot, so it was important to me that I had a way to protect myself and my children, because we're out in the boonies and probably a good 15 minutes away from the nearest emergency help, if that even. I mean, just the department is at least 15 minutes from us, so depending on where they're at, you know what I mean? So anyway, so that was a big deal. We both like to shoot, and that was kind of a fun, it was pink, so I had to document that because it's my first gun, and it's just kind of a woman power thing for me. I feel comfortable, I'm able to protect myself and my kids if, any bad people come around. So anyway, in case you're all wondering why there's a picture of a gun there, because that looks kind of funny. And then this insert here in the middle is the journaling that goes with each photo, another wood veneer, and then I try to keep some of the similar themes with, that was on the rest of the page. And then the back, I just kept it. It's the back side of, oh no, I used white paper. So I just used kind of a scrap that I had left and just did a couple simple die cuts and then called it good. So I thought about having like journaling for here for these pictures and here for these pictures, but that was getting way too complicated and then they wouldn't have been in order. And so I just did it all here and then just decorated the back. So love how I really love this concept, because while I have scrapbooked some of these photos individually and these stories, it's nice to look at just one spread and look at our, like, wow, we did a lot this year. We had a lot of big moments this year and important things that happened this year. So that's just a really fun project to do. I think the rest of these are just sitting down and scrapbooking, and a lot more paper usage. That one actually used a lot of paper because I matted all the photos. And then this one here was a fun one, and it is just a lot of layering. I got a larger photo. I printed white, black and white, and then I actually paired it with an email, which is what the story is about. And just had a lot of fun with the really fun florals and butterflies and things. And the die cuts and sticker here that said Shine Bright just matched perfectly with the theme of the page, and love how that turned out. So sorry guys, I am like blabbing like crazy. Sorry, this is getting long. And then this one here is where I use the three of the four silver Instagram or Instax frames. And I just did some powder paper and tore it and then just layered them and used, these were from the Hip Kit die cut pack, as well as the flowers. And as this was not from this is from the kit, but this is from the other die cut pack, the pink paisley, I believe. And just love how that turned out. Just super cute and soft and pretty. And then this one, I went this whole time almost positive I was going to use this side, and then I ended up using this side and loving it. And it's very simple, but again, I just printed the photo in black and white because it was a very busy photo color-wise. And kind of what motivated this was the only two wood veneers I had left were this Hello and the 2017. And so I'm like, well, hey, I'll find a picture, which we only had this one from how we brought in 2017, and so I printed that off black and white, layered a bunch of fun pattern papers that matched this background paper, and did one Raban and one of the die cuts, and then used the last frame to kind of frame out some journaling space there, and called it good. So that's it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I won't count the insert, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 layouts. It's not too bad. I'm happy with that. So I really loved the kit. It was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get a new one going. So I will be back soon with the next kit I'm going to work with. I'm also going to do a new scrap room tour. I've changed some things around and wanted to just do that while my room was actually clean for a change. And so I'll be back soon. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the album I was thinking about when I was talking about the album that I thought would be fun to do with the one large photo combined with a year in review photo, and then just make that an album in itself. This is a different concept, but it's what entered my head when I was thinking about that. I made this a long time ago. Like, I probably made this, oh my goodness, I probably made this like maybe 15 years ago. But it's one of my favorite albums because it's one of those albums I can sit down, and it's a themed album. It's just focused on me and my husband, pictures of like before marriage and then right after marriage. And I just blew up some of my favorite photos, and then I just used a common theme throughout the whole album. And so that's kind of what made me think about when I was thinking about the year in review type of situation, was having it be kind of consistent each year, do something fairly consistent style-wise and theme-wise, and it makes for a really neat album. So this is one of my favorite albums, and it was back when we didn't have a lot of product yet. It was pretty much cardstock. There were cute ribbons, the bling was good, rub-ons, and so most of the pictures are actually black and white, but I did the front, I did color, and then just to introduce the different colors that would be in the ribbons throughout the rest of the album, if that makes sense. But anyway, this is probably like the most current photo that I had of us too, and then I went backwards. So this was just, make sure you can see it all here, kind of something, it was fun. I had, and these flowers were big, ribbons, there were some stickers and things, but other than that, it was very simple, and I just stayed consistent. I had one flower, a ribbon, and some bling, and that was it. And then maybe a nice like rub-on or sticker that had a simple word to it. But I just love the simplicity of this album, and it's one of my favorite ones to look through. And again, great for like a, you know, a coffee table type of album, because it has a nice consistent book type of feel to it, versus like where every page is different and different colors and more artsy. And so that's kind of what came into my mind when I was thinking about the year in review and favorite photo of the year concept, was doing something like this. And so I just it made me want to pull this album out and show you guys and remember the good old days of the big old Prima flowers and rickrack. And so again, very simple. I didn't journal. Well, actually I did at the end. I journaled each photo so I would know what year and what it was, that the photo, what, you know, what we were doing in the photo. But just very simple, and I just really like that concept. So yeah, I did a little index at the back here, along with one of my favorite photos of us. Anyway, so that's what I was thinking about, was just having a nice, consistent album that that has a similar feel to the entire thing, and versus, and not just in using product that matches, but in the design of the pages and the concept of the pages, like the story behind the pages. And so anyway, I just wanted to show that to you all. Let's tack this at the end of the video, and that way you guys kind of know what I was talking about with that concept. So thank you guys so much for watching, and happy scrapping. Bye bye.